4th and 23. Schoonover came free, and down goes Romney. He had no shot, and Schoonover puts this one to bed.
Deseret News Rewind is presented by Heidemann & Associates. Call them now for a free consultation, 801-754-4240, or go to utah.law. Welcome in Deseret News Rewind. Dusty Litster, Dane, Stewart, as always, presented by Heidemann & Associates and brought to you by the Utah Army National Guard.
That's right, Dusty. Heidemann & Associates, full-service law firm. And so whether it's, business patents or, unfortunately divorce or, I was on their website, even gun law. They got all sorts of legal battles that they're willing to help you out with. Give them a call, 801-754-4240, or you can visit them at utah.law.
I want to thank Justin Heidemann for his support here of Deseret News Rewind. All right, let's jump into it. First of all, we're here at Roy High School. Roy winning our game of the week in a big win against Weber.
Yeah, boy, Dusty, this was a big battle. The battle for the Shield, and a rivalry been around for almost 60 years. And boy, it was a big one last night. And this Roy team, when you think of Roy, usually that's that defense that you think about. But boy, Coach Fernandez, he's got a dynamic offense. It was Roy opening up the scoring. How about Jackson Dart to Cade Harris? This one from 7 yards out made it 7-0 Roy on the opening drive. Weber would get a field goal. Well, they'd actually trade field goals. It'd be 10-3 after the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, and how about this run from Logan Payne? 33 yards out. Roy actually had stopped them twice, but penalties allowed this drive to continue. Payne cashes in. We're tied up at 10. Roy, a solid answer is Dart to Cade Harris. 80 yards is Cade behind the defense. No one going to catch up to him, and it's a 7-point lead for Roy late in the first half. How about Jaden Harris with a 2-yard touchdown run? Makes it a 2-possession lead at the break. To the third quarter we go, and Hogan, remember, he had 5 rushing touchdowns in their win last week. He didn't find the end zone in the first half. He does it here in the third quarter, 28-yard scamper to get back to within 1 possession. And then Izzy Gordon, after they had a 4th down and 11 conversion, Izzy Gordon from 2 yards out push it back to 14. Dylan Toms would score to open up the fourth quarter. It looks like it's going to be all Roy, but Cole Hogan just would not go away. How about a 16-yard touchdown run from Hogan, and then the onside kick from Weber they're able to recover.
All those tricky Warriors.
No kidding, huh? A couple plays later, Hogan to Hall from 11 yards out. It's single possession, folks. We got a ball game here at Roy High School. Well, we had a ball game. Izzy Gordon, 58 yards to the end zone. The lead back up to 14. And then just for good measure, closing seconds, Cade Harris with the interception to seal it. And Roy with a 44-30 victory over Weber, Dusty, just like one of us thought.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
I got you, Jackson.
Congratulations to Roy. You're right.
Congratulations
to Roy. Tell you what, this is a team that been up and down. Hasn't been a perfect year, and but they've been able to right the ship. And not only that, they're finding their best football. Early in region play, you lose that game to Syracuse Davis, they're able to bounce back. And it just speaks to the culture that Coach Fernandez has built here at Roy, and what it is now compared to where maybe it was 12 years ago.
Night and day.
It's awesome. It's unreal. All right, let's get to the opening statement brought to you by Heidemann & Associates. Again, with any law issues you have, or even just get up a will set up, or anything you need to do to take care of your family, go to www.utah.law and let Justin Heidemann & Associates take care of you. First of all, this is more of a PSA than it is an opening statement, but most of you will know if you go to the UHSAA site to go look at the RPI, it's not going to be up until the end of next week.
That's right. And I reached out to the UHSAA, said, hey, can you help us understand what's happening there? Really 2 reasons. And again, this is the opening statement. It's the statement from the UHSAA on the RPI. And so really 2 factors here, Dusty. First of all, for accuracy and, to give them time to go back, verify scores, make sure scores were entered correctly. I know there was a score last night that was entered incorrectly. That's going to have some affecting in your seedings. And so it's one of those where they want to be able to take time, go review the season, make sure everything's working appropriately. And then number 2, it's got you on the edge of your seat. It's kind of the point of this whole thing, right? Let's just wait and make it a little bit of a surprise, a bit of an announcement. It's going to be up on Saturday. So go check out the UHSAA website on Saturday. They'll have the final RPI release as well as the tournament, and we'll have our videos for you with all of that information early next week.
Absolutely. So it'll be very interesting to see what's going on. But again, that's not down, and it's kind of funny. I got hit up on Twitter a couple of times last night.
Yeah.
They got to create a little bit of intrigue, but then also make sure that it's accurate as well. All right, let's go to your best of 6A.
All right, Dusty. Hey, where else am I going to go? How about Region 4? We were down there Thursday night, one of the coldest games, and maybe ever played in the game in the state of Utah. All right, kidding a little bit, but it was cold.
It was
American
freezing.
Fork and Lone Peak, and when we talk about Lone Peak, Dusty, we talk about the defense and that offense. Wood didn't play, Hansen didn't play, Romney at quarterback, and the gusty wind. It was tough sledding for Lone Peak. AF, boy, it didn't seem to faze Madsen at all.
No,
What a
it
game
didn't.
from Maddox Madsen in that one, as he had 2 passing touchdowns to Devin Downing from 85 yards and 57 yards. Peyton Wilson had a pick 6. Lone Peak had 2 pick 6s of their own, but ended up not being enough. They fell to AF 26-21.
When you look at the last 3 weeks for Lone Peak,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
single-digit losses 3 weeks in a row. And
Yep.
right now, I would say reeling, because you're in the state tournament. You're going to play a first-round game.
Yeah.
But that might be good. You're going to get some reps for some of these guys and maybe find yourself a little bit. And the road harder to travel might be a good thing for the reigning 6A champions.
Yeah, we'll find out. I mean, they got to stop the injury bug, right?
That's
Whatever
true,
the
too.
vaccine is for that, you got to figure that out in Alpine right now.
Let me know that too. All right, how about I'm staying in Region 4.
Okay.
How about the number 1 team absolutely putting a stamp
Yeah.
on being number 1? Wondered about Corner Canyon moving up from 5A to 6A, the reigning 5A champions. They have knocked off, I believe it's now 6 teams that have been like number 2. And I think someone
Yeah,
sent
I
a
don't know.
hyperbole or something like that
Yeah.
to us earlier. But you look at wins over Harriman,
Yeah, it's a lot.
Bingham. I mean, just a ton of these games. And you look at what Corner Canyon's able to do, and this was complete domination. Skyridge scored on the opening, their first drive of the game, which was shortened after a turnover. But then Austin Bell scores, and then the floodgates just opened. Cole Hagan just absolutely went off. Andrew McDonald had another pick 6. Here's the thing about this defense. Between Josh Wilson and McDonald and others, I think you're approaching double-digit pick 6s.
Wow.
As much as we talk about Lone Peak and how many pick 6s Richie, they had 2 on Thursday night too.
Yeah.
Corner Canyon with Josh Wilson and that linebacking crew, they're right up there too.
Yeah.
And so, but a huge win is Corner Canyon again stamping their flag on the top of 6A, 56-22 win over number 2 Skyridge.
They scored 42 points in the second quarter, Corner Canyon did.
Right.
42 points in a quarter, only one of those was defensive.
Yeah. And look out for top 5 plays. I heard Hanley had a big one. I mean, this is just a team on an absolute roll. They've hit their stride, and I've likened this team to that 2013 Jordan team that Coach Kerr is the head coach of, with Austin Fences, Clay Moss, and Kruger, and those terrific weapons. This is very similar to that.
Yeah, we're a little late in the season, but is any in-state school going to offer Cole Hagan? Anyone?
Yeah, right.
Come on, guys.
Getting really deep into the game here.
Yeah.
All right, best of 5A.
All right, hey, there was a big game this week, and Dusty, it came down to the very last second. The Wasatch Wasps had upset on their mind. They played a heck of a ball game, 20 apiece in the fourth quarter, and then it was Peyton Clausen, a 44-yard field goal with no time left as Salem Hills able to sneak by Wasatch 23-20. Elmer had a 76-yard run. Johnson had an 80-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. But in the end, special teams, 3 made field goals for Clausen on the night.
Like, unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, Wasatch got to be thinking, hey, we're getting ready for a coin toss.
Right.
And he buried it. He buried it with some distance, too, as well.
Yep.
All right, how about this one? Farmington. They had lost that game to Viewmont. Maybe learn to listen a little bit. Painted the V a couple weeks ago, got beat, able to bounce back last week. But how about the win last night against Bountiful? Is Bountiful. This team is much improved.
Yeah, they
Speaking
are.
of the Bountiful
Yep.
Braves, gave everything they could to Farmington. But on the night, it was Everton. Wyatt Everton counted for 5 touchdowns, threw for 3, ran for 2, including the game winner.
Yeah.
To give Farmington the win, 34-30. And Coach Dan Coates and the Phoenix, they're at the top of Region 5.
Region champions.
Yes,
Dusty,
sir.
we'll touch on that in a little bit, eh?
Absolutely. But congratulations to Coach Coates and the Farmington Phoenix. A terrific season for them.
Yeah, for sure.
The best of the rest.
Well, Dusty, hey, we had a really special story. We love bringing these whenever we can, and a couple of people have been able to talk about it, but we want our viewers to know about it. How about what happened up at Green Canyon this weekend? They've got a young man up there, Johnny Stott. Johnny was born with a rare genetic mutation, Dusty, that left some of the muscles in his body paralyzed. He served as the football manager for the last couple of years, and this week found out, hey, he was going to be suiting up. Not only suiting up, he started the game at quarterback for Green Canyon, even had a completion on the play. Johnny, man, hats off to you. And if you want to know about understanding how to overcome adversity, KSL did a story on it. Cache Valley also had a write-up on it. Go find out about this young man's story. Johnny, congratulations to you, Coach Andrew. Great gesture. And we here at Deseret News Rewind just wanted to say, Johnny, man, we respect you. And way to fight through your challenges, young man, and a great display on senior night up at Green Canyon.
Yeah, we talked about it. We had a great conversation. If you haven't listened to the podcast yet, go back a couple of weeks and listen to our interview with Dustin Smith. Eyes up and do the work.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. Give those kids and people moments in their life that need them.
Yeah.
Be there for them.
Yeah.
And that was certainly on display
Yeah.
in that game. And congratulations. Absolutely outstanding. To the field, Mine's not near as touching. But what if I told you that McLeod Croton only threw for 2 touchdown passes?
No way.
Would Pineview win? Yeah, they scored 55 points. How about it? Desert Hills through the opening drive, kicked the field goal, and then from there, it was a Pineview onslaught. McLeod Croton, the leading passer in the country, yeah, he still threw for over 350 yards on the night, threw 2 touchdown passes. But you look at the pick sixes on this, he had 2 of them for Pineview, and a couple of field goals as well. This team, the Pineview Panthers, finding their groove in Region 9, and Dixie, Pineview, again, I mean, this could be interesting what happens in 4A.
Yeah, I mean, Dusty, I gave you a little bit of, of a rub for picking Weber earlier.
Right.
I went on the wrong side of that one. So we're even, right?
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, let's go to the quick hits brought to you by the Utah Army National Guard.
Well, Dusty, I mean, how about a big Region 2 battle? Kearns and West. Kearns trying to get that region championship. West, boy, the Panthers kept telling you, watch out, Coach Solovey, he's going to get that program right. Kearns ends up fending off West 27-21 as Alusa had a 70-yard kickoff return. Leha and Afatasi both with rushing touchdowns, but West just falls short. Kearns, though, going to run the table in Region 2.
Had a heave to the end zone, a chance to win that game, or at least tie it and kick an extra point. How about this when you go from that one? How about Thrilling? 6-3. Mountain Crest is just going to, hey, we're going back to 1988.
Yeah.
6-3. They score in overtime. The win. It was Hunter Schroeder, 17-yard touchdown, and Ridgeline, a team that started out a house of fire. Talking about Pineview, right? They won that 58-56 game beginning of the year. It seemed like a long time ago, but Mountain Crest getting a 63 win over their Suns. I know I'm jumping in the rivalry on that one, but I got the win.
Let's stay up in Cache Valley, shall we? I told you how the game started with Green Canyon and Logan. We did talk about how it finished. A whale of a finish in that one. How about Jacob London had 3 rushing touchdowns, including the game winner in overtime and the game-winning 2-point conversion as Green Canyon 36-35 over the Logan Grizzlies.
Cade Bowering, we tout Bryson Barnes, but Cade Bowering in 3A is absolutely having having a year. Cade Bowering 3 more rushing touchdowns last night as the Juab Wasps took care of those pesky rabbits out of Delta, and this game was close, but big turnovers from the defense. Bowering those 3 touchdowns as Juab ran away 28-7.
If anyone's trying to figure out how to upstart their offense, you might want to go drink some water around Skyline High School right now. How about 40-27, the victory over Timpanogos? Bolingbrook with 3 more passing touchdowns, and all of a sudden, one of the best spread offenses in the state is at Skyline High School.
Right.
Zach Kaufman had 2 rushing touchdowns in the win.
How about North St. Pete, the number 1 team in 3A? Before the RPI went dark. Got a big win against Union, 42-21, doubling up the Cougars, and a lot of points in this one. But Connor Jorgensen had a touchdown, Culp had a touchdown from Union, but it was a 4th quarter. Peyton Clausen, Jackson Langschwager, and then a run from Luis Rodriguez, putting this one away for Coach Peckett and the Hawks.
The Provo Bulldogs started off hot, had Maple Mountain this week, Dusty. They held Maple Mountain scoreless till the 4th quarter as they're able to cruise 35-13. Havea with 2 rushing touchdowns for the Dogs.
Provo. Going to take the Region 8 title, get a win over Payson this week, and Coach McGeary's swan song season, his Bulldogs could earn a first-round bye in the 5A state tournament. Talk about bouncing. Well, first of all, I'm going to do 2 here real quick.
Okay.
Setting up an absolute barn burner. If you want to head to Wendover after this one, I'm not going to say you should. Morgan and Grantsville both winning last night, setting up a huge matchup between the Cowboys and the Trojans Wednesday night.
Yeah, it's a good one. How about Timpview Alta, Dusty? And boy, Region 7 getting kind of crazy at the top. Targi Lamson, he had himself a run in this ball game for a touchdown. Just boom, pushing guys off of him is 21-11 the win for the T-Birds.
Trying to find one more. We got one more? Oh, how about this Bonneville Box Elder? What am I doing? I watched this one all night long. The Lakers took an early lead, had an opportunity, or thought maybe they run away with this game, but then back comes Box Elder in the second half, and we had Trevin Johnson 2 touchdowns, 3 yards, and Bonneville able to hang on. Box Elder, just like West, had the ball around midfield, thought maybe they'd stun Bonneville, just like they did Bountiful a couple weeks ago. Turnover, defense from Bonneville getting the strip sack and recover the fumble, and Bonneville beats the Bees.
One more note for you. How about this? Bingham and Jordan. Bingham, look, this game wasn't as close as maybe the final score indicated. Man was back for Bingham.
Back. Okay, good.
And good to see him back for Bingham. At least the box score had him participating in a touchdown, and good to see he presumed healthy based on the box score as Bingham cruises past Jordan 31-20.
And East getting a 14-0 win over Riverton.
Yeah.
The East Leopards, maybe East Side boys. It was Amoni and then I knew I was going to mess it up. Motuliki be able to get the touchdown.
Amoni, just a freshman, Dusty.
That's right.
Watch out for that young man. Years to come, future running back at East, going to have a lot of promise.
Got them all? Think you got
I think so.
All right, feel good about that one too. Let's go to the closing argument brought to you by Heidemann and Associates. And Dane, we got region champions. I mean, we got champions. And it's an interesting year to do this because last year's videos, last however long, we'll be talking about 1 seeds. But there are teams that still won their regions. You got to get that done. And they got them taken care of last night. Yeah,
and the first one is Syracuse. We didn't talk about Syracuse, but they came in a tie-in Region 1 with the Weber loss and the Syracuse win over Clearfield. Region 1 championship for Coach Knight and the Syracuse Titans. Bridger Hamblin, Ty Burke, boy, they were all over last night. They've been a force to be reckoned with this year. Region 1 champion. Congratulations to the Titans.
One team owns Region 2, and one of us took it at the beginning of the year. Kearns Cougars.
Yeah.
Kearns 5-0, taking care of business, 8-1 on the year. They only lost to Riverton,
Yep.
and this is a team looking pretty good heading in the state tournament. Be very interesting to watch what happens with Kearns. They were ahead. They were number 5. They were getting that last bye as of last week.
How about Region 3, Dusty? And you've just got a logjam at the top.
Right.
You've got Bingham, Harriman, and East all having defeated each other. They've all got one more game to play against the bottom part of that region. Going to be interesting to see how that sorts itself out.
You know what sucks? There's no meeting up at midnight to flip a coin.
Right.
That makes me sad.
Yeah. Well, Dusty, if you want, I can meet up with you and flip a coin Wednesday night.
But there's nothing riding on it. It's not the same.
All right.
No half and half games this year either. That's
I tried.
And how about Region 4? Right now, I mean, it's all Corner Canyon. They play AF.
They play AF this week.
AF
right?
can upset the apple cart as far as region goes.
I'll tell you this: not a lot of teams have handled Lone Peak up front like AF did this last week.
True.
That game might be closer than some people think. Still, Corner Canyons to lose.
Absolutely. How about Region 5? We talked about it earlier, Farmington Phoenix. Coach Dan Coates and the Phoenix, they rise in their second year and take down Region 5.
Brighton or Olympus with a 1-game lead in Region 6 right now. Still games to be played in that region. They've got a tough one coming up this week as well, Olympus does.
Well, here's where this is interesting, where the RPI doesn't show maybe where teams are because of some losses, things like that. Orem is a team we kind of bang on the RPI drum trying to figure out how you actually place Orem. They're not getting the first round by the way it was the last time, but they win region 4-0 in region play, and they're going to take the Region 7 title.
They've got Lehigh this week, barring anything unforeseen with the Pioneers. You would presume that Orem.
Right, what am I doing?
Yeah. Region 8 in a very similar situation, right? Provo's got a 1-game lead, but that one not wrapped up. And be interesting, Wasatch, we talked about that Salem Hills game. Had they won that, you maybe are looking at an opportunity where you might have a shared region champ. They're right now Provo in the lead with 1 week to go.
How about Pineview? 7-0 heading into Dixie Week. Is the Pineview Panthers. Oh, probably they got Dixie. What am I doing? 7-0. They got to hang on here the last week of the season.
Yeah, I'm going to skip down to Region 11. Skyview, your Region 11 champ. That region through region play. Congratulations to the Bobcats, who just won't let the time end up there in Old Smithfield, Utah. No. They are still the kings of the region.
Park City took care of Region 10, and tell you Park City, the Skidmore, McCurdy, this kind of been building to this season. Can they get over the hump? And it's going to be very fun to watch 4A, South versus North. What that's going to look like.
You're talking about 3A Region 13 and Morgan, Grantsville, both undefeated in region play. That game coming up Wednesday night. Interesting one out west between the Cowboys and the Trojans for a region championship.
Oh, how about this one? How about a team that wins? Now, they got a big game coming this week. How about Juab? They got to beat Manti to wrap up Region 14, and they're not, last we saw, not number 1 in the RPA. Now, granted, North St. Pete had Manti already counted in their RPI, and that's where that data needs to come in.
Yeah.
Juab, Manti could mean a 1 seed for the Juab Wasps.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. How about we head all the way down to 2A, Dusty, and Duchesne. They've looked like the Duchesne of old since that loss to Milford. And undefeated in region, they're going to win the North, the South. Boy, this one interesting. Beaver. Is there any team that can hang with Beaver?
I don't think so. Not right now.
I mean, oh my goodness, they just steamrolled Millard last night. And watch out, the 2 undefeated teams in their regions, region champions in the North and the South. And I think the 2A playoffs actually are going to be a blast. It's going to be a load of fun.
It'll be interesting to watch what happens. And if it ends up on the other side, Milford and Beaver, we hope so.
Yeah.
And as far as that goes, I think games in between that'll be really, really good. And if they can get there, it'd be something else. Well, if there's teams that we're missing, stories we're missing as well, hit us up. We'd love to hear about them. At Dane News Rewind, at Dusty Litster, Dane_Stewart. We'd love to hear those stories. Let us know what we could be missing.
Yeah.
But stay tuned right around the corner. Short week this week. Enjoy the fall break. We'll be at the games on Wednesday night. And stay safe, stay warm as well. For Vince Francis, Dane Stewart, I'm Dusty Litster. Thanks for joining us watching Deseret News Rewind on Deseret.com.